I'd see him sitting on that couch all day long, just staring at that Hollywood hogwash.
Our favorite show was Hollywood Hogwash.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Hollywood Hogwash. I'm Andrew Pisano, along with Josh Reese.
In this holiday season of giving, Andrew, it's a beautiful time of year. It's nice, it's fun. We got to spend time with family and watch a lot of classic holiday movies. Die Hard is the one movie that my family always watches every year.
Yes, I noticed that very early on when we were rewatching this film, and Josh is quoting every line of the movie, and I realized that I've been annoying people for years.
Come to the coast, let's have a few laughs.
But here's the difference. I admittedly never saw Die Hard all the way through until today.
Wow.
I know about all the famous scenes. I know, like I've there have been times where it's been on TV and I watched like the last half of it or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it came out when I was 2 years old, you know?
So you knew what Yippee-ki-yay meant, right?
Of course.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Die Hard with a Vengeance was always my favorite Die Hard because I saw that in theaters with my parents, and it kind of, watching this really makes me want to watch this with a Vengeance.
Are we just doing a Die Hard straight through? All the way through 5?
No. After 3, it's it. That's it. They're not good after 3.
4's not bad.
No, it's not good. You know who the villain is? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Raylan Givens. Before he was any good. He was so bad in that movie. Die Hard with a Vengeance, Sam Jackson, and it's connected to the original Die Hard movie, so that makes it really cool. But yeah, after rewatching this, I realized Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
What?
It's definitely not a Christmas movie. There's nothing Christmassy about this movie.
This is filmed during Christmas. It's about kids wanting to see their father for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's filmed. There's just a lot of Christmas themes, a lot of Christmas music.
But see, if it was a Christmas movie, they would have released it during that time. It was released in June. It came out in theaters in June.
It's a but nowadays it's a classic Christmas music.
There's barely anything. He's coming home for Christmas. They barely mention that. And then at the end, it's like, let it snow, let it snow. That's it. That's the only thing that has, this movie has nothing to do with Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie, but
it's one of the, this is
how Josh convinced,
highly debated topic throughout movie fans in general.
It's only been
Die
the
Hard
last
a Christmas movie.
It's only been the last 5 years or so where this has become a thing. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I'd have to say no, but that doesn't take away from how great the movie is. I loved it.
The crazy thing is, Die Hard 2 might be more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard 1.
I think I can safely say, with what I remember from Die Hard with a Vengeance, that's not a Christmas movie.
No. Die Hard 3 is not a Christmas movie at all.
No, and neither is this, let's be honest. So this is our post-Christmas episode, pre-New Year's episode, I guess, as well. Hopefully you got all the presents you wanted. I'm an adult now. I have kids, so the only presents I get are from Eric when we do the What's Wrong with Wrestling podcast. He got me a t-shirt, a new Stone Cold shirt, so that was cool. My parents got me a few shirts. But I gotta say, the best Christmas present I got was from Josh Reese. This guy who claims to be the Grinch of Christmas.
He doesn't
do gifts. He doesn't give gifts. He doesn't do anything. He walks in my house last week and he's like, "Hey, Merry Christmas." And he hands me. I should have brought it up, but it's a pop.
Did not say Merry Christmas.
It's like a scene. It's from Batman '89 with Michael Keaton when he's they're fighting on top of the building at the end of the movie. I should have brought it up.
Very cool.
I'll bring it next time. But it was awesome. But yeah, Josh got that for me for Christmas. Thank you, Josh.
I think for something
He's
to
so
be
generous.
considered a gift is that it has to be wrapped.
No,
and it has to
not.
be bought for someone with the intention that you're giving it to someone. And I did neither.
I consider it a gift. And it was right before Christmas.
I was
You know,
just
all
like,
this
I
tough
have
guy-
an extra one, Andrew. Here you go.
All this tough guy talk from Josh. Oh, celebrate Christmas. Oh, fuck. But no, he's really a generous person.
I'm a very generous
and clearly,
person.
the fact that I got a gift, like, I must mean a lot to you.
And
So
I don't
thank
mean
you.
anything to Andrew, apparently.
I guess I have to get him a gift now because
No,
he claims
no,
he doesn't
you
want
don't.
them, but really he wants them.
No,
so
you don't.
let me know what I should get Josh. I mean, I know what he needs the most.
Hey, that's coming. That's coming.
Josh.
I'm doing that myself, all right?
Josh Reese, 2023. He's coming.
Played by Josh Reese.
Yeah, so we'll talk about Die Hard later in the show. First, we have to... There's a lot of news and rumors, so let's get to the Hollywood hogwash. So, more DC stuff
Yes.
has come out a lot, actually. Dwayne Johnson confirmed that James Gunn currently has no plans for Black Adam in the DCU, which is not surprising. You know, they got rid of Henry Cavill, and why would you have Henry Cavill show up at the end of Black Adam? And if you're going to get rid of him, obviously you're not going to do anything with Black Adam. But
Right.
The Rock posted a long... Did you read the whole thing?
I got bored halfway through. I was like, oh, Lord Jesus.
It's not as pretentious as the Vin Diesel one, so I won't read the whole thing. But he posted like a long like RIP to Black Adam, saying he's proud of the film.
We brought it into the universe.
Thank you to the fans. And then he ends it with a shameless plug saying, now we all need some Terramana.
Oh.
And it's like, God
Lord.
damn it. It's a shame because like I really want to like him. And there's so many videos of him doing so much nice stuff, but then you're like, yeah, but you filmed it. Why'd you have to film it?
It's The Rock he's a promoter, Andrew.
Yeah.
You know,
I wish he
he's
wasn't so
used to it.
phony. I think if you met him in person, like you'd be like, wow, he's a cool guy because that's just how he comes off. But yeah, that
Sure.
plugging your Terramana after saying, oh, sorry, Black Adam's dead.
That's
just
the one
fucking
way
weird.
that's where it goes. He always goes into marketing. What can I do
That's
next?
all he could do.
What's my next project? I don't have any. So let's just plug the tequila.
Being him sounds exhausting.
It does.
You know,
I mean,
it's like, oh, who would you want to be? I would want to be Dwayne Johnson. Really?
No.
Sounds exhausting.
No,
I don't think I have the energy for it.
I mean, working out all the time? No way.
Well, not just that. I mean, like doing 50 projects at once.
I know, but you know, it is kind
I
of
can barely keep up with these podcasts.
that's true. Same here. And I don't do half as many as you do.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's just so weird right now in this in the DC universe. Like nothing matters anymore. Like
It's a reboot.
Why even care about the Flash coming forward?
Yeah.
Only because maybe Michael Keaton might survive?
Maybe.
But I mean like
That's the only reason is because he's going to be in it.
apparently. But I mean
Apparently.
like there's nothing to be interested in moving forward. Shazam probably
Well-
has no interest going forward.
Shazam star Zachary Levi addressed the rumors of him getting knocked out. He responded to a fan on Twitter saying, I really wouldn't go believing everything you see on the internet. I'm Gucci. We all Gucci.
I appreciate that response because I actually do use Gucci sometimes in my everyday speech. So that's great.
Who talks like that?
I do apparently. Me and Zachary Levy.
Which stupid celebrity made that famous? Was that like Was that like a Kim Kardashian thing?
Oh no, that was it Scarlett Joe, Father Son, House of Gucci?
No, Lady Gaga was in that movie.
Lady
not Scarlett
Gaga,
Jo-
that's who it
How the
was.
hell do you confuse Scarlett Johansson and Lady Gaga?
I'm so sorry.
Scarlett Johansson's
Lady
very
Gaga.
pretty. Lady Gaga's not so much.
Lady Gaga, that's my bad. Is that where it's from? I don't know where it came from.
Well, people were saying that's Gucci before that movie came out.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
But
like
he claims that he's safe, which is surprising, I think.
that would be surprising. But you know, it is one of the only good things about the
They should make like an American Idol version of the DCU. They have all the actors lined up and they're like, Shazam, you are safe. And you know, I'm sorry, Rock,
or it's
you're
the
out.
Bachelor version where they get roses. A rose for
Right.
Shazam.
The thing about James Gunn is like, you know, obviously he wants to start over and do his own thing.
Sure.
And
Fuck Zack Snyder.
you know, he knows Black Adam sucked, but I'm sure he would also like to have someone like The Rock be in his movies. But the problem is you can't get rid of Black Adam and then just recast him as someone else. That would be. Although that's the rumor about Jason Momoa. I don't know.
See, it's very confusing, Andrew.
But like he said, like Zachary Levi said, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
That's true.
James Gunn also responded to a commenter on Instagram who suggested that DC, is booting Henry Cavill, which is true, but also Gal Gadot. And Gunn said, I'm not sure where you're getting that we booted Gal.
Gal Gadot's safe?
Gal Gadot's safe.
Oh my God. That's what you should have led with, Andrew. Gal Gadot is safe.
You are safe.
Podcast over. Oh, thank God.
Is that really that big of a deal that Gal Gadot is safe?
Come on. Gal Gadot is super hot. I would have been really sad if they recast her.
Well, but what does that have to do with acting?
I don't have nothing to do with acting. Listen, I think she's a fine Wonder Woman. She's one of the better characters in that universe.
Yeah, she does a fine job, but the last movie was fucking terrible.
It was terrible.
I think what James Gunn is doing, he's like, I'm just gonna keep the people and the characters around that fans actually like. Like, obviously, we like Harley Quinn. He put her in his rebooted version of Suicide Squad.
Shazam
Margot Robbie was
fun.
great. People like Shazam. It was okay. I don't know. We'll see about the second movie.
Yeah.
And obviously people like Gal Gadot. They just didn't like Wonder Woman 84 because no one did.
Well, I mean that was a hard one to.
But it's gonna be tricky if you're rebooting other characters with different actors, but then you're keeping Gal Gadot, you're keeping Shazam, you're keeping Margot Robbie. You know what I mean?
I think multiverse.
Yes, they're gonna have to do some Flashpoint
multiverse shit. Some.
Which,
exactly.
Hey, maybe Michael Keaton's just the Batman going forward, but he's also 70 years old.
And I'm fine, but like with a Michael Keaton as Batman, I think you could get some Batman Beyond stuff as well.
Yeah, I think if he's gonna stick around, he should do more stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I'd rather see him as Batman than like a terrible version of the Vulture that we saw in Morbius.
For sure, Batman, Bruce Wayne, definitely. Vulture
okay, hold on.
sucks.
We're gonna have the Vulture scene with Michael Keaton. Let me just write this dialogue real quick. We'll fix it later.
Sure.
I'm not sure how I got here. It has to do with Spider-Man, I think. We should team up. That's all right.
We'll just keep it.
Hey, no, yeah, but just remind me to fix that dialogue. Okay. The day of filming. Oh, fuck. My God, that was so bad.
That was a terrible, terrible one. But Michael Keaton is one of my favorites, and
I know that's why it was so hard seeing it, because also he was so good in Spider-Man: Homecoming, and then to see him playing the same role in Morbius, but it was fucking awful.
Yeah, it's an inverse. It's crazy.
It's terrible. I hope Sony gets shut down. They just stop, because Craven's going to come out sometime, I think early next year, and that's going to be dog shit because they're all dog shit.
Yeah.
Just stop already.
Not looking forward to Craven at all.
It doesn't help that the Venom movies had made a lot of money despite sucking so hard.
Yeah, that is weird. The Venom 1 was decent.
No.
Venom 2, terrible.
Venom 2 is terrible. Anyways, we've spoken enough about that.
Yeah.
You could tell, look how bitter I am that,
it's still affecting you a year later.
It's been over a year. That was the first podcast. It was Venom. Venom 2. All right, Hugh Jackman confirmed to SiriusXM that Wolverine will be using time travel to appear in Deadpool 3, which will keep the timeline from Logan intact.
Yes, I did see that for him saying, don't fret, fans. Logan's going to be all right.
I think because you really wouldn't need to use time travel. I think the only reason they want to use time travel is to bring the Logan version of Wolverine to Deadpool 3. They don't want X-Men, the X-Men 2 version of Wolverine, from the movie. They want the gritty rated R version of him in the Logan movie.
Right.
That's why they're going to use time travel, because it's we want this guy who just hates the world and his world is basically over,
either that or
they want the angriest version of him.
That's true. That could be
the R-rated version of him.
The R-rated version, the only R-rated version of him. But there also could be another reason for that, and maybe that's with some TVA bullshit as well. Time travels,
possibly
some TVA stuff,
right? But I'm saying you wouldn't have to do that.
You wouldn't have to.
This is why they did it. We want that version of him in this movie, and so do I.
the more crumbs that get leaked out about Deadpool 3.
Don't worry, we'll talk about Daredevil soon.
I'm really, really, really interested in it. And
of course.
I can't wait to.
There's no movie I'm anticipating more.
No.
And it's 2 years away.
I know. Time is going to move by fairly slow.
Yeah. I mean, gee, the Jets will have a Super Bowl win by then. It'll be great.
Which universe?
I don't know, but if someone finds that universe where the Jets are good, please let me know.
Just know that there's an Andrew Pisano out there in a different universe that's exceedingly happy. But you've got to take pain for that Andrew.
I should make a parody of Everything Everywhere All at Once where
Shit.
It's like someone tells me, he's like, no, this universe, the Jets are worse. This is the worst version of the Jets in this universe.
You gonna have a hot dog fingers, Andrew?
I'll live in that universe if the Jets are good. I love hot dogs. Yeah. So moving on, Tom Hiddleston did a voiceover for a Disney Plus commercial teasing the upcoming shows and movies for 2023. They showed that Black Panther is gonna be on Disney Plus, of course.
Right.
And we saw a few seconds of Oshuka. Oh fuck! I see.
Asaska?
Ashaka.
Oh Lord
No,
Jesus!
it's not. I think it's Ashoka. Ashoka. Sorry, Ashoka.
There you go. The Jedi.
Yes, with what's her name? Fuck.
Rosario
Dawson.
There you go. Rosario Dawson.
Rosario. Yeah, I'm interested in that. Also, we saw a few seconds of Secret Invasion with Samuel L. Jackson. Very interested in that. And a few seconds of season 2 of Loki.
With maybe a couple other Lokis beside him.
Multiple Lokis, and Owen Wilson's next to him. He's like, wow, so many Lokis. Wow. No.
Because that's the best thing about Loki is that you get a ton of Lokis.
Yes.
You don't just get one. So that's really great.
Yeah. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to
lots
all
of
those
stuff to look forward to in 2023.
Yeah.
From Disney. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Also, Charlie Cox told NME that Daredevil Born Again will be dark, but it probably won't be as gory as the Netflix series. Look, it doesn't have to be like gore wasn't the best part of the Daredevil show. You want to cut away during some, stuff that would have been a more gory scene on the Netflix, fine. If it's the same tone, I'd be happy with that. I don't think that's going to be the case.
Right. I don't want Hawaiian shirt Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
I want the brooding, the big scary motherfucker.
I want the kingpin that'll go murder a news reporter in his fucking apartment.
Yes.
I didn't come here to intimidate you. I came here to kill you.
Yes. I want the kingpin that's in prison with the monologue to Matt Murdock, and then he just beats his head in to the table.
The kingpin that propositions the Punisher.
Yes. I want that kingpin. I don't need the kingpin like I'm on my way to Maui, but I'm going to get shot in the face first. Aloha. That's where, what was her name is? What was his girl?
Oh, fuck.
That's where my Jessica is. It wasn't Jessica.
No. Echo.
No. The love of his life.
Oh, fuck. It doesn't matter.
That's where she is. She's in Maui.
Maria? No, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Whatever. Yeah. So he was always trying to find
Jessica. No, that was Jessica Jones. Who gives a shit? That's not important.
Yes, but we need the dark and brooding part of that universe. I'll be fine without, the gore and stuff like that, but we just need the drama. Bring the drama back to Disney. That's what the D stands for.
Right.
Drama.
Yeah, I mean, look, we have the Deadpool movies on there now.
Yes.
And you have to have an adult profile. It's as simple.
Logan.
Yeah, I mean, like it's simple stuff.
And it's going to be so off-putting when you have the Daredevil that you can see from Netflix, because that's on Disney Plus too.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Yeah.
So it's going to be mashed up with like the cute Daredevil now. Now he's a family man having barbecues in his backyard, with
making love to She-Hulk. Yeah. Yeah, and how is that kid friendly? He's fucking She-Hulk. What is you're okay with that? Parents?
Yeah, right.
That's premarital sex. Disney parents.
Yeah, that's a little bit racy.
You know, I'm finishing up my rewatch of The Sopranos. I'm actually on the last episode.
I thought you were going to say a rewatch of She-Hulk. I was like, Andrew, what is wrong?
That will never happen, Josh. No, I'm finishing up my rewatch of The Sopranos. I'm on the last episode. I think after I'm done, I'm going to rewatch Daredevil.
Okay.
You know, because season 2 especially was perfect.
Yeah.
That was the one with the Punisher. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was so good. We'll have to do that. But yeah, Charlie Cox also said, I'm fascinated to discover why they chose to do 18 episodes. It's almost, he's like, why so
like
many?
A little bit much, guys.
Right. And I brought that up too when it was first announced. I was like, well, 13 seems to be like the magical number.
It does.
Or even Disney Plus does 6, but you know, 13's like the magical number for like shows like this.
It is a weird number, but you know, they're looking for more eyeballs. And I know you're just getting into Andor.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if I had 18 episodes of Andor, I wouldn't have minded.
Sure. And also it's 18 episodes so that you keep your Disney Plus account for multiple months.
Sure.
If you are just getting it for that reason, you know, that's why they release it episodically.
One, and they were going to release it weird too, weren't they?
I don't think so.
No, it was 18
Oh,
straight
like
weeks?
2 halves?
I think it was.
Maybe. I don't
maybe.
remember exactly. But yeah, we'll see. That's still 2024. That's not coming out.
No, we got a long ways to wait for that too.
We can wait because we're not expecting much out of it. That's the other thing.
Well, we got Loki.
Apparently
that'll
they're
hold us
filming
over.
like all of 2023. So
That's good. They're back on track now. You know, COVID's behind us a little ways. So everything is now fast forward. It's now back on track. You know, 2023 is actually a pretty big year. Loki, you got Secret Invasion.
yeah.
You know, so I mean, it might be a pretty good year.
I mean, movies too, right?
Movies. too.
Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy,
That's right.
and some other stuff I'm not remembering. But yeah, we've talked about it before. So we got a new trailer for Oppenheimer this past week. Did you watch it?
I did see it. Yeah.
I'm very excited for it. Everyone knows I'm a huge Christopher Nolan mark.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, the one thing that I had seen, and you probably know this being a Christopher Nolan mark, is that, you know, he does a lot of, he doesn't like to use CGI
Right.
type of stuff. And that I had seen in the promotion for Oppenheimer that they created the first like nuclear explosion for the movie. And I was like,
They
what
recreated
the fuck?
the nuclear. They recreated the explosion without CGI.
Yeah, that's insane.
I don't think they
really
didn't
built a
do the
nuclear
same-
bomb?
They didn't do the same thing. I think what they did was they had a smaller explosion. They were like, we're just gonna pretend like that's it.
A
Obviously.
really big, but that's just crazy. You know,
Oh,
in a
he's
day
crazy.
of,
He's killed multiple stuntmen.
but in the day of CGI, you know, it's kind of nice to see someone do some classic actual shit. It's nice.
It is nice, but it's dangerous. I don't think anyone died making this movie, but that, you know, so that's good.
I wish I could have found it, but I
But
saw
like,
this.
you know the Dark Knight Rises scene where they hijacked the plane? Mm-hmm. They filmed all that shit in the sky.
Yeah.
And like a stuntman died making that movie. I'm pretty sure it was that scene.
Oh, that's what I want. I'm going to see if I can find it for next week. But I had seen this Twitter thread, and it was of Christopher Nolan movies, and it was like the actual scenes they used instead of CGI.
Right.
Like in one of them, they said in Interstellar, he planted 500 acres of corn.
Yes.
Just so that he could have a truck drive through
Well, so
the acres of corn.
they actually realized that it was cheaper
Yeah.
to do it that way, and then they sold the corn
That's insane.
and they turned a profit with the corn.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just
Well,
goes to
that would
show
be
you.
hard to. I mean, yeah, CGIing driving through corn, it's a lot easier just to do it.
But planting 500 acres and then harvesting
then selling it.
So much. That's so much.
That's
work.
awesome. You got to watch Quentin Tarantino's interview. He was with Tom Segura. They did Two Bears, One Cave, and he's talking about like, you know, he's like, I don't hate the Marvel movies or super, but for me, it's like you're either capturing it on film or you're not. Like he doesn't use CGI either. He likes to build giant sets and do things like he's like, you could take two cars, you smash them into each other. Like that's a move, you know.
I think that's just the way to go. Like you're watching.
Well, no, CGI is so overused nowadays.
Yes, it is.
And so much poor CGI is used.
Yeah. No, like, okay, so you're watching Andor right now. And like one of the things that we hated about Book of Boba Fett was just like it didn't really feel like authentic, you know? Because they filmed it all on that one stage that Disney uses.
Right.
You know? But in Andor, you're actually using like sets. You know, you're actually using scenes and stuff like that. You're going out and filming on location, and they look like real, actual fucking places because they are real, actual places. It's great. I love to be immersed in something. Yeah. And you don't really feel immersed in something when it's all CGI.
As much as I love Infinity War. I love Endgame. They're some of my favorite movies. But yeah, those movies are all just green screen. Like the whole movie is green screen pretty much. I still love them, but yeah, we could use less of those for sure.
For reals. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for Oppenheimer, July 21st. Yeah. Also, this is really interesting and kind of scary, but movie studios can now be sued for deceptive or misleading trailers. 2 people are suing Universal because in 2019, Ana de Armas appeared in trailers for the film Yesterday, but she was cut out of the movie. Okay. Last Tuesday, U.S. District Stephen Wilson ruled against Universal, saying this was false advertising and is allowing the plaintiffs' legal action to go ahead. The plaintiffs, Connor Wolf and Peter Rosa, paid $3.99 to rent the movie on Amazon Prime and were left disappointed when they didn't find Ana de Armas in it. The pair are seeking, do you want to guess how much they're seeking? They paid $3.99 to rent the film. How much money are they seeking in damages?
It has to be ridiculous. It has to be $1 million.
$5 million. This is just one of these joke lawsuits, and the stupid district, this fucking idiot Stephen Wilson ruled against Universal. Like, you're so dumb for that. Now these fucking idiots are gonna get a settlement out of Universal for like probably $100,000.
Probably.
And now that's
you
just
shoot high, Andrew.
And it's like, yes, I agree. They shouldn't put her in the trailer. She's not going to be in the movie, but that's not something that should be illegal, I don't think.
Should we go back and sue Marvel for showing that they were going to have the Incredible Hulk in
Infinity War?
Infinity War?
Well, he was in the beginning, but he wasn't in that shot. He wasn't in the end, which, yeah, that was...
I'm watching out for you, studios.
Yeah, this is such a weird thing.
I want to go back and sue Sony for Morbius. They made me think it was going to be an entertaining
No, that's
movie.
what it opens up to, because it's going to be like, well, that movie sucked ass.
That was terrible. You know what? I want my fucking $20 back, Sony.
I want $20 plus damages, $10 million.
You know what?
For the suffering.
For the emotional damage that caused me, that's about what it was.
I saw Avatar 2, and I didn't pee, and it caused my bladder to burst. And now I'm seeking damages.
Yeah, you know what? You could use James Cameron stuff. He said for me not to pee. So I mean, I did.
No, he said the opposite. Actually, he said, "Go pee. I don't care." He doesn't care as long as you buy a ticket to the movie. We'll talk about him in a minute.
It was a shitty movie.
Well, all right. Speaking of James Cameron,
oh Lord!
In a recent interview with BBC Radio, James Cameron was asked about Matt Damon turning down the original Avatar film because a clip of Damon went viral last year after he revealed that Cameron offered him 10% of the film's box office, which would have netted him more than $250 million.
Okay.
Except the reason why Damon, he only turned it down because he was already committed to a Jason Bourne movie.
Sure.
So he couldn't accept the role. Mm-hmm. But when asked if Damon could get a cameo in a future Avatar movie, Cameron said, must do it. We have to do it so the world is in equilibrium again. But he doesn't get 10%. Fuck that. He's a weird guy. He also said in another interview that he got forensic scientists to prove that Jack wouldn't fit on the door in Titanic.
I saw that.
It's like, you are a lunatic.
Yeah, no.
All you had to do in that scene, she's on the door and he tries to get on, but then the door starts to sink and he's like, oh no, I'm too heavy. It won't hold both of us. That's all you had to do in the movie to add to it. Yeah. But I think he did it on purpose just so people talk about the movie for fucking 30 years. Because you're going to talk about it forever.
Yeah. No, if I remember correctly, I thought that he said he was doing a documentary on it or something like that.
God.
No, maybe not.
What is that show where the two nerds prove if something could? They probably already did that episode.
Oh, what? It was a Discovery thing.
Mythbusters, right?
Mythbusters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they probably did Mythbusters.
I bet you they probably did. Well, while we're talking about James Cameron, I'll bring this up too. So could there be another Terminator on the horizon?
God.
No. James Cameron was on the Wondery and Amazon Smartless podcast.
Whatever.
I haven't heard it. Whatever. But he had this quote: "If I were to do another Terminator film and maybe try to launch that franchise again, which is in discussion,
Fuck you.
but nothing has been decided, I would make it much more about the AI side of it, of the than the bad robots gone bad." Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I would
So
make
no
it much more about
Terminators?
the AI side of it than bad robots gone crazy. There you go. Yeah, so it would be more on
But
the
that's
AI
not the
side,
movie.
the robots. Like
Just
I guess
stop.
them building their world instead of
Just
the humans.
stop. We talked about it last week.
Yes.
You
Enough.
know, it's just like every other intellectual property. It's like, yeah, these movies were good. Like the first two. It was 1991 was the last good one. We've had 30 years of shitty Terminator movies. Reboot after reboot after. No, those didn't count. Now we have this sequel. No, they suck.
this one does
Just
count.
Stop.
It's part
Leave
of the
it
universe.
alone, for the love of God.
Wait till we're 50 and then reboot the whole thing. Do it again.
No,
Well,
don't
by
even
then-
do that.
Well, technically by then, I guess Skynet would have taken over and just written
Stop
the movie anyways.
ruining these classics. Stop it.
Well, it's something that can't happen. That's going to keep happening.
Of
Andrew.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They can't
everything's
stop
a
it.
sequel. There's hardly anything original anymore. It's a shame.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Hollywood likes to blame the the fans for this. But no, you're the ones doing it. You're making the movies. Like, well, we're making it because you won't see it. It's like, well, no, but you guys started it with the whole nostalgia thing, and then once that's all you put out, of course, that's what anyone's gonna fucking do.
Yeah.
You know?
It's kind of annoying.
That's like getting someone hooked on crack and be like, well, you're hooked on crack. Well, you did it. You hooked.
you
You're the one
made
that
me
gave
this
me.
way.
You gave me the crack. Okay.
Sorry. I just got one last thing. And it's there was an interview with Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther. He
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda
Yeah.
Forever. He was on with the New York Times and just kind of talked about what Black Panther was going to be before Chadwick Boseman died. Of course.
I imagine less crying.
Probably a lot less crime.
Whole movie.
However, it was still going to feature T'Challa's son. Instead of him just having
Sure.
a cameo, it was actually going to be a father-son movie, and it was going to be the aspect of T'Challa and the son instead of.
Were they still going to
T'Challa
do
and the
Namor? I
dad.
imagine.
Yeah, apparently the movie was going to have Namor and what was Valentina was going to be more of a villain. So
Valentina.
the director Valentina.
Oh God, I
Yeah.
forgot she was in that movie.
She
That
was gonna be
those were worthless scenes.
He said it was basically going to be a three-way conflict between Wakanda, the U.S., and Tolkien.
Yeah.
So this is what he said. It was going to be a father-son story from the perspective of father, because the first movie was a father-son's perspective from the sons. In the script, T'Challa was a dad who had his forced 5-year absence from his son's life from the blip. So he was going to be returning after the blip.
Right.
We had some crazy scenes in there for Chad. The movie was about a summer that the kid spends with his dad for his 8th birthday. They do a ritual where they go out in the brush and they have to live off the land. But something happens, and T'Challa, this is where I think it gets a little bit wild. T'Challa has to go save the world with his son on his hip. So that was going to be
So
the
another
movie.
fucking Mandalorian.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
they're
the
all
son
copying
learning
that.
the ropes from his dad.
They're all copying that. Really, it's Logan. Logan did it first. More recently, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like that's the first time that's ever been done.
Very true.
Terminator 2 was that, story basically.
Yeah. I don't know how I would have felt about this movie, but, I thought the last movie they did was just fine.
Yeah,
It was fine. Yeah.
it was long.
It was long.
Go watch that one. You'll like this. Collider reports that season 2 of Invincible will hit Prime Video next year, 2023.
Oh.
They don't know exactly when, though.
Oh, wait. Okay. Thank you.
Well,
I kind of figured it was going to be next year.
Yeah, all right.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah, I like Invincible.
Yeah. All right, let's talk some Die Hard. 1988. I was just 2 years old watching John McClane murder some Nazis. No.
I guess they were Nazis.
A couple of them.
Maybe.
They're like sons of Nazis. This is only 40 years
German
from World War
nationalists?
II.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, Hans Gruber was
I never thought about that before. Yeah.
I'm watching, I'm like, this is only 40 years after World War II. This is crazy.
I did not think about that at all. I was more thinking about like, holy shit, that's what computers looked like back then? Oh yeah, that is what the computers looked like back then.
That was hilarious. Was the movie was like trying to show us like, look at all this awesome computer technology, and it's like beep boop beep boop beep boop.
I still remember playing Pong. That's yeah. So that's the
That's when
generation
that
I grew
they
up.
were playing Pong in '88, or I guess Super Mario Bros was the
Somewhere
was
around
the
there,
best.
for
But
sure.
yeah.
What was your first game system? I had an Atari.
So I didn't like the Nintendo.
Okay, Nintendo. Okay.
Like the regular Nintendo, but my brothers and sister, like, they would always be hogging it. But that was like the first one I played. My grandmother had an Atari that I would play, so I've played on the Atari.
was that almost much?
But
older
but
than you?
that wasn't my first console because it's not like it was at my house.
Why was your grandmother playing the Atari?
I think she just had it for us when we came over. She certainly
Okay.
she didn't play the Atari. They just, I don't know who put it there, but someone had it. It was in the basement, and like this was in Brooklyn, New York, in this super fucking old house. And to go down to the basement, you open the door, it's completely dark. It's the scariest thing you can imagine as a little kid, you know? You have to walk down the dark, like the blacked out stairs, like you can't see anything. And that's where the light switch is, at the bottom.
Oh, that's terrifying.
So there were a couple times where I would open the door and just be like, I really want to play the Atari. Maybe later.
Not today.
I would like ask people, like, can you go down with me? Can you go down and turn the light on? It was creepy down there,
I
man.
bet so. The light bulb probably swings from time to time.
Yeah.
Swing
The
light
first console that was like mine was the Sega Genesis. Sega.
bulb. That's right.
You
Okay.
know, This is
Interesting.
good stuff. But yeah, back to Die Hard. I have a question. Could cops bring guns on airplanes back then? Like just in your holster?
I think so.
You're on a plane and you're sitting next to a cop. Oh, there's a gun on his holster. I don't think so.
I felt like cops could do that up until 9/11.
I don't know about
No?
that. I think maybe you'd have to like check it with your luggage or something, but I don't know about why would you need to go just start shooting the plane?
No, because they're considered an extra, like a U.S. Marshal type of thing. You know,
Yeah, but
U.S.
I don't
Marshals
think they
have a
were
gun.
worried about that until after 9/11.
That's true. I don't know. You know, things were so much simpler before 9/11, Andrew.
Do U.S.
You wouldn't have to
Marshals
remember
have
these
guns on
things.
planes?
Yeah, U.S. Marshals have guns.
I think the pilot, they have like a locked...
I don't know.
But it's like if you make the wrong shot, you're shooting through the plane and everyone's dead.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. Listen, I don't claim to understand this logic, but you know, they have.
We're all
guns for
going
a
down.
reason.
Well, that's what I was going to do anyway, so that's great.
But look, people could, you know, smoke on planes back in the day. You know, it's
Yeah,
just-
that shit was nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
My God, everyone got cancer. Whoever flew on planes back then.
Well, every movie that we've watched pre 2000 and 2001
Never forget, Josh.
is canceled. You know,
Canceled. Oh no, McClane having to use the computer at the hotel was hilarious because we don't even do this in 2022. Bloop. Oh, just find the name on the computer. What? That's your job. You do that.
no. So it was funny. So he's looking up the names of the people, and he finally finds his wife's name, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, they're the only people in the building." I'm like, "What? You know, should have been. That was the
Yeah.
first place he should have thought of then."
It's funny. I was looking at trivia, and they said that they used like this building was 20th Century Fox's headquarters,
Oh shit.
so that they didn't have to pay
Smart.
for a building and they could do whatever they wanted.
Oh wow. Interesting.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that is cool.
That's like when WWE did their pay-per-view at the headquarters.
Let's not talk about that. That was terrible.
That was terrible, but
of the
that was
worst.
because they could do anything they wanted at their own headquarters.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the bad guys show up fairly quickly to ruin the party. And by the way, I have a lot of quotes and just minimal stuff. You know, Josh has seen this movie
Multiple times.
a shit ton of times. So whenever you want to just
Not only
go
that,
off
okay,
on something.
so we can skip back just a little bit. So
Sure.
they're in the party. Takagi's talking to everybody, and then I'm forgetting the guy's name that was doing coke.
Just the cokehead.
The cokehead, but he's totally macking on Bruce Willis's wife.
Yeah.
You know, and he's doing a bump of cococaine as.
So I like when they
Bruce
walk
comes in.
into his office, he's wiping the cocaine off
And
the
he's
table.
and Bruce is like, yeah, Mrs. White. Oh, my bad.
You missed a spot.
No, so it's funny. So he seems like an arrogant asshole, and arrogant assholes usually get theirs in the end.
Of course.
Gets theirs in the end. So,
Yeah. He was sweating his balls off once the bad guy showed up.
for sure.
That was good. And then okay, so Hans Gruber, he's talking to what is it, Takagi?
Takagi.
Mm-hmm. And he asks him for the codes to the vault.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't know. And he gives him one more chance. I don't know. Just shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
You could have tortured him, you know?
He did he seem like a guy that was going to torture anybody? He was too fancy to torture people.
Well,
you know?
no, he has other people torture.
He could have had other people torture him. But you
I
know,
like when he tells all the guests, he's like, oh, Takagi, he won't be joining us for the rest of his life.
that's a classic line.
There's a lot of classic
That's a classic
lines.
line.
There's
Really
a lot of classic lines in this movie.
But yeah, so I mean, so he sends the black guy down to start working on the breaking into the vault after he didn't get the password from Takagi.
Yeah.
So, and that sets up the whole rest of the movie because now you got to open up the vaults. You
Yeah.
got to wait on the FBI to come on.
Yes.
So that's part of the problems.
So when we did the Top Gun review, we talked about the first movie, and I was like, yeah, it suffers from being an 80s movie because they put their 80s shit in it. This movie really only had one thing that was super 80s about it, and that was the limo driver. And during all the action and the drama, it's like, yeah, let's just add the limo driver, jamming
out in the
out
limo.
to some music, and then
That's
he's talking to the teddy bear, and it's so stupid.
You just had to have some brief moments of that 80s-ness, the 80s nostalgia.
Yeah, it's like John McClane just fucking, murdered a guy, and then we cut to the limo driver's like, oh yeah.
Oh, phone's dead. You got the number, use it, man.
Yeah. McClane gets his first kill on a Jeffrey Dahmer looking motherfucker.
He did look super sketchy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They just fall down the stairs and somehow his neck is broken.
Yeah, twisted his neck, and for somehow, out of the 8 million terrorists in the world, he's got smaller feet than his sister.
What a weird line. I like how he sends him down the elevator and his sweater. I now have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. That was great.
So you're saying this is not a Christmas movie, even though they keep on shoving
All right,
Christmas
okay.
into the movie.
Fair enough. He said ho, ho, ho.
Right.
And he had a Christmas hat on.
Christmas hat, everything. And it's a Christmas party, for God's sake.
That's the only thing John McClane does that's right, that has anything to do with Christmas.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He doesn't say Merry Christmas at all.
I don't think so.
No. It would have been great if he said, here's some coal for your stocking, or something like that. But that seems more
That's like Violent Night,
I was gonna say,
which
it's
Violent
more of a
Night,
Violent
was,
Night.
Violent Night was ripping off of Die Hard anyway. So they were like, hey, they say Die Hard's, I bet you they came up with the idea for Violent Night because they were like, people say Die Hard's a Christmas movie. It's not. Let's make it one.
There you go. Maybe.
I'm sure that's what happened. So then we're introduced to Carl Winslow from Family Matters in this movie, which is always hilarious. He's playing a cop.
So John keeps
Just
on trying to get the police to come to Nakatomi Tower.
Yes.
The first time he pulls the fire alarm, but the bad guys call the police off.
Yeah.
The second time is when he's on the top of the building and he's talking with the police.
Yeah.
And he's like, come get me then. Come arrest me.
Yeah.
So the police are like, fine, we'll send somebody there. And it's good old Carl Winslow. Now, okay, so I want to know, where's the timeline in this? Was Family Matters around this time?
Oh, yeah.
Afterwards? Before?
Before. And during.
And during?
Pretty sure.
Well,
I'll tell you right now.
That's some terrible timing then, because this character 100,000,000% should have been.
Oh, no.
No?
It was the next year. He got the Family Matters role because of Die Hard.
That one story that he told later.
Oh, Jesus. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Fucking trigger happy
Well, then
madman.
it's a shame. He should have also been.
Wow, I didn't realize Family Matters was that. Wow, 89 to 98. Jesus.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this is before. I guess no wonder. Makes sense. By the way, the Carl Winslow actor, he looks 55 in this movie. He was 36. He was my age.
That's crazy.
In this movie.
Wow.
What the fuck?
I mean,
People really aged.
Standard def, that type of stuff.
Uh-huh.
He didn't have HD definition on him.
No. That would have made it worse, Josh.
Yeah,
I
you're
think.
right. Probably would have made it worse.
People
But he
just
sort of-
aged a lot worse back then.
Instead of Carl Winslow, he should have been Al Powell. It doesn't roll off the tongue. That was his name in the movie. Al.
You mean
Powell.
instead of Al Powell, he should have been Carl Winslow?
Or vice versa, because this was first.
Yeah. Oh, so
Yeah.
he should have kept that role from Die Hard and brought
Right.
it to Family Matters?
Right?
He shot a kid.
Oh, that's right. Maybe they didn't want to make that canon. Maybe they didn't want to make that canon.
Okay, well, all right, we'll go into more detail later.
Especially with Urkel always coming around.
Let's stay
I've done dark things to children.
Let's stay in. Yeah, did I do that? You shot Urkel. I hate that bitch.
I had a ray gun.
He had a gun, I swear. A ray gun. He had a laser gun. What?
It looked real to me.
So McClane goes in the air ducts, and there's the famous shot of him with the lighter, sarcastically saying, come out to the coast, we'll have dinner, we'll have a few laughs,
This must
Good
be what
stuff.
a TV dinner feels like.
And then he's fighting more bad guys, and he shows mercy to one of them, and then that guy gets the drop on him for a second. He's like, next time you have a chance to kill someone, don't hesitate. And then John kills him. He's like, oh, thanks for the advice.
And that bad guy was terrible. So they're
He was. Just
walking on the
shoot
tables.
through the table.
Yeah. Hop off the table and just gun him
Hop
down.
off the table or shoot through the table
Or shoot through
like
the
McClane did.
Yeah.
It's wood.
He's shooting like a couple bullets at each turn, and he's
Yeah.
zigging and zagging like what are you doing,
Well,
bro?
these villains, they're cocky.
They're cop. You know what? These villains are all stormtroopers. They don't hit anybody.
They're overconfident.
They're overconfident. They're terrible.
Like most villains. I mean, even
most
Hans
villains.
Gruber, there was a couple times he should have just shot John McClane.
His hubris. That's
His
right.
hubris. And I love when Carl Winslow is like telling, he's reporting back to them. He's like, oh, everything's fine here. And then the fucking guy lands on his car. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. He just drives off the fucking
My
thing.
car's getting turned into Swiss cheese.
And then John McClane, welcome to the party, pal. Another
great.
classic line.
Great line.
So many.
I can't believe it was only today that you've seen this movie all the way
All
through.
the way through, yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
And then he talks to Hans over the, radio, and
Yeah. They start to build a
that's
little
the most
bond.
famous line. He's like, do you really think you have a chance against us, cowboy? And yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
So then the police chief, a.k.a. the principal from the Breakfast Club,
Oh, that's right. That's where it's from.
he was a real asshole and an idiot.
Well, I mean, isn't
When this
that his character?
When this movie came out, Roger Ebert gave it a negative review just because of this character.
What?
It's like, well, what about the rest of the movie?
He gave it a bad rating just because of Paul Gleason?
Yeah.
But that's Paul Gleason's character in like every show he's ever been on.
I mean, he was overly stupid.
Sure.
For a police chief.
Sure.
They're like, what about the man that fell out of the bill onto my car? He's like, it's probably some depressed stockbroker. What? You could figure out that it wasn't a depressed, like so quickly you could have figured that out.
Yeah, for sure.
But That was great. Yeah, he was a real asshole and just pathetic. And at the point where he's talking to Hans and Hans gives his demands and he just immediately gives into all of his demands. He's like, we got to make phone calls. It's like, you suck at this.
Who are you going to call to make this too?
Right.
Like, we need to release people from prisons all over around the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of funny because he's like the assistant police chief and like, this guy obviously has no power at all.
Terrible.
No power. At one point when they're trying to cut the power, he's like, I think we should call the mayor. And no one listens to him.
Right. Yeah. That is also another 80s thing is just like, yeah, the stupid police chief who doesn't know anything.
Yes.
Yeah. So then they bring, the LAPD has like their mini tank to try to get in.
Oh,
but
right.
the bad guys blew it up with a rocket launcher.
Right. They send the foot
shit.
soldiers in. Andrew, it's 2:00 in the morning. I'm doing the best that I can.
Oh, because they never do it when it's not 2:00 in the morning.
Exactly. They send in the troops first, and they get gunned down. So that's when they send in the tank.
Yeah. And it doesn't work out.
No, the tank gets rocketed to death.
Rocketed to death, yeah.
Yeah.
Then McClane drops the C4 down the elevator shaft, and one of the bad guys is like, oh, it's the cops. And Hans is like, it's not the cops, you idiot. It's
like,
him.
They're like, oh my God, they're shelling us. Like,
Yeah.
no, the cops are not shelling you.
And then John telling off the police chief was good over the radio. That was satisfying because that guy was an idiot. And like the chief just relents. He like totally pussies out. Yeah. He's like, oh, okay, here, take it back.
My feelings are hurt. Just talk to him. Okay.
And this is where the cokehead makes the biggest mistake of anyone in this movie.
Well, he could have made an even worse mistake because he could have said it's Holly's husband.
No, but that would have been the move to make.
Yes.
That would have been the move to make for the cokehead. He would have lived if he would have told him that.
He might have still died, but that was his only option.
But that's the better play. Instead of I'm McClane's best friend.
I know.
That's the stupidest thing.
Terrible. And I'm surprised McClane knew who he was. If I had met someone just for the one time, and you know me, Andrew, I forget things almost instantly, I would have been like, I have no clue who this fucking person is.
Yeah, but I feel if you met someone right after you see them doing a bump of coke,
and
you'd
then
probably remember who they are. You probably never forget them.
Probably. You're right.
Because I've never been in that situation. I've never met someone right after they do a bump of coke and then, quickly try to get it off the table. Yeah, I think you would remember.
You're probably right. That might have been burned in my
Plus,
brain.
he's a cop. It's his job.
Yeah. Oh, right. He's good with faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the FBI shows up and they do the this is my jurisdiction. Not anymore. It isn't. And South Park had an episode like a few years ago where people keep interrupting, like, this is my not anymore, it's not. But then like a different department comes in, not anymore, it's not. And they do it like 5 times. It's
that
so
sounds
good.
hilarious.
Yeah.
They also had the stupid, because they're FBI guys and they're both special agents. Both of their names are Johnson.
Johnson and Johnson.
One of them eventually gets on the phone and like, yeah, this is Johnson.
He
no,
goes,
the other Johnson.
Yeah, it's Agent Johnson. No, the other one. So stupid. Yeah.
But you know what? It's a stupid joke, but it made me laugh. And I've seen the movie 20 times and it always makes me laugh.
Yeah. This is probably my favorite scene is when McClane gets the drop on Hans, but Hans pretends to be a hostage with an American accent.
Right.
I thought this scene, I think it's the best scene in the movie because you don't know if John believes him or not. I mean, you find out, obviously. But at the time, it's like, it's so suspenseful because you're like, is John buying this? Is he pulling it off? But also like Alan Rickman's American accent is amazing. He sounds like you're just average American. So.
Well, you remember in Die Hard 3 that the Grubers, part of their group was that they were German. There were German soldiers, but they had American accents so they could infiltrate American establishments.
Yeah.
And I guess that was part of the group that this Gruber was in as well.
He got kicked out over it. Yeah.
The Von Sleepen or whatever it was.
Sure.
It's whatever it was. But no, but like they also faked you out because when Rickman was on the wall and John was looking at all the names in the building, Rickman actually picked a name that was on the wall and said it.
Right.
So it kind of made you believe, like, maybe John's kind of thinking that it is a real person.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And then when John, so I read this in trivia on IMDb, but when John offers Hans a cigarette, Hans holds it as a European would hold a cigarette. And that was intended to be like taken as a clue to like for John to realize, oh, he's not hostage.
Well, back in the 80s, everyone smoked cigarettes, didn't they?
Yeah, right. Well, he did. You saw Sean McClane certainly did. He offered him a cigarette.
Oh, yeah, John McClane smoked a couple times throughout the...
And he was holding it the European way.
For sure.
So then John gives Hans a gun. He's like, you know how to fire a gun, And he's like, oh, I took a, course once or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then Hans holds him at gunpoint. But the gun is empty, of course. That's like the scene I'm talking about from like when they first meet. Until then, he's like, you think I'm a fucking idiot? And,
Right.
I love that whole scene.
Because Gruber, when he was checking on the detonators, he put his gun down so he could hop up and try to look. And when he jumped down, that's when he saw John's grubby feet.
Yeah.
And he looked up.
What's so good about it is like the movie is about John McClane and it's the first one. So like he has to be the hero. He can't really make a stupid mistake like this. But also Hans Gruber shows how smart he is.
Right.
To pull off something like that. But of course, at the end, it doesn't fool John McClane.
I mean, this was the perfect plan, if not for a John McClane.
Yeah. So then we have the Fabio-looking bad guy who is pissed because John McClane killed his brother. That was the first kill.
First kill. Ho, ho, ho.
So ho. So he gets all like pissed off and smashes some stuff. And John's wife sees that and she's like, he's still alive. Only John can drive someone that crazy. That was a funny little line.
Yeah. We saw it earlier in the show.
They gave her a few good moments. Mm-hmm. Then we have Carl Winslow talking to McClane while he's picking the glass out of his feet from the shootout earlier.
Terrible.
And, it's a nice bonding scene.
It is. It's sweet.
Where Carl, tells McClane that he shot and killed an unarmed 13-year-old kid.
In cold blood.
Whoops. Oops.
It was just a twitch of my trigger finger. And, we don't know that he shot him and killed him to death. We don't know that.
Oh, no, he killed him.
Do you think he killed him to death?
Absolutely.
He the just way said they were shot him.
No. The tone of the scene, the way he's talking about it, I can't. I haven't pulled my trigger since.
Yeah, for sure. It wants you to think that he
shot him right through the heart. The kid died in seconds.
Well, that's just, what?
You fast forward to 2022, where it's still a big problem. But like at least now, like if it's blatant, the cops get arrested and everything like that. But it's even crazier because Carl Winslow is black here. So it's like, well.
Yeah, he was one of America's dads back in the day.
Yeah.
And to think that America's dad could have that much impact?
Right.
It's crazy. I mean, he's also a great shot, apparently. One shot, one kill.
Great shot. He's so good at shooting kids.
Kids,
Kid was playing with a toy gun and he shot him.
Kids and adults. He also got a kill later in the show. And that was from someone that hasn't shot his gun in probably a decade.
What was crazy was I had a friend who...
Oh, this is going to get dark?
No.
Okay.
Well, he died. He died. Well, anyway, I don't want to get into it. I had a friend... he had these airsoft guns that look like real guns, and they're actually right up there, like stored in that box. Because we were gonna like make an action movie, like a short action movie. And at the time I was like, man, like we're gonna be outside holding these guns that look real. This could get dangerous.
No. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's things that you can't do today. But like when I was younger, I used to play laser tag at like my old elementary school. Yeah. I couldn't do that nowadays. I'd be shot by a cop.
Well, I mean,
that's terrible.
Like when my dad was a kid, they would make the toy guns look like real guns. The toy guns would look just like real guns.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
times have changed.
Carl Winslow murders kids. Well, and then they were like,
you can see how real that
I think that guy would be perfect for Family Matters.
To be America's
Because
dad.
originally Family Matters was going to end with him killing Urkel at the final episode.
I think thought that was how it was going to start.
Yeah. So then the FBI orders them to cut the power, which is good for the bad guys because it'll open the vault. And Hans, another great line, "You ask for miracles, Theo. I give you the FBI." It's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
FBI is playing their playbook and they're going by each play.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Well, no.
not really what he said, but
No. But earlier in the show,
they're following the universal playbook
there you go.
for
Thank you.
terrorists, something
Thank
like
you.
that.
Yeah, it was something like that. We said it both the same way.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, same way.
Then we have the news team basically break into the wife's house to interview the children.
That's fucked up. But like you had
You want me to call INS?
But like you had said, we were watching the
Puta.
movie. That's on her for opening up the door, to be honest.
Yeah, don't even open the door.
Don't
But
have
she
to
didn't
open
know,
the
I
door.
guess.
No.
She didn't know that they would all be national news.
That's terrible. But like, what kind of journalist sticks a microphone in front of what do you think how old she was? 6-year-old, 7-year-old?
Yeah.
I just wish my dad and mommy would get back.
What kind of journalist? 99% of them?
You think so?
Yeah.
I think that's where I draw the line.
Well, all right.
Maybe I'm not.
You're the
great.
1%, Josh.
Amen, ladies.
I don't think you'll ever have to do something like that.
I don't think
You
so.
report on, high school
Sports.
sports.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
what would you have to do that for?
Yeah.
So yeah, because of that, they're on TV. Hans sees it, and then he sees the picture, the family picture, and then he looks at Holly and he says, "Mrs. McLean, how nice to make your acquaintance." Mm-hmm. Another great line.
So they sends up all the people to the roof and
Yeah.
keeps Mrs. McLean because the plan, which was actually a genius plan, was to put all the people on the roof and then blow the building.
Yeah,
And then the guys would escape in an ambulance. That's perfect. They
Yeah.
would never know,
right.
But it's
Yeah,
just a
he
McLean.
says a line like, they don't look for you when they think you're dead, basically.
That's right. When you steal $600, you can disappear.
Not $600?
No. But then
$600 million.
No, but when he first said when you steal like $60 or $600, people will look for you or something like that. But when you say 600 million, you have to disappear.
They'll look for you unless they think you're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
See,
Yeah.
I was getting it. I was there.
All right. So then McLean finally faces off with Fabio and ultimately hangs him by a chain, but it was his toughest fight scene yet. Of course, it's the biggest
sure.
guy.
Yeah.
It's fucking Fabio,
Fabio shot him through the shoulder too.
Yeah.
And they kept on trucking.
And then McLean gets the hostages off the roof by shooting in the air. But by doing that, the FBI thinks he's a terrorist, so they shoot at him. Mm-hmm. And then McLean bungees off the roof, basically, as the bad guys blow it up.
I'm not a person that deals with heights very well. And even to this day, that scene always terrifies me.
Sure.
Jumping off a roof and then he's swinging there,
Yeah.
trying to get back into the building. Oh,
Then The Matrix recreated that scene 11 years later.
Yeah,
Very
it's-
similar.
yeah,
Remember
very
Trinity with the...
yeah. You're
Very
right.
similar thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
So then John faces off with Hans, who has a gun to his wife's head. Holly sees John, and he's all fucked up. She's like, "Jesus." He's like, "Hi, honey." That's classic Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And then McLean drops his gun, and Hans is about to shoot him. And Hans is like, "What did you tell me earlier? Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!" And they both have a good laugh. They're like, maybe we could have been friends,
In a different world.
John, but John's got a gun taped to his back, and he shoots Hans, shoots the other random bad guy that's there too.
So like bad guy 101, Andrew. Bad guy 101.
Yeah.
For anybody out there that's listening to, when you're laughing with another guy for a little bit too long, you should know something's about to happen, right?
Sure.
You,
He didn't know he was in a movie
I guess
where
that's
the bad guy
true.
has to lose.
Maybe he didn't know he was a bad guy, but you just have to have some mental clues. If you're out there just laughing, just know something terrible is about to happen.
What?
Yeah.
That's a terrible thing to tell people.
Yes.
If you're enjoying yourself and you're having a good time with friends,
Be on the lookout.
you're
Something
about
terrible.
one of them is about to shoot you.
Terrible's about to happen. Maybe not to shoot, but terrible's about to happen. It's right around the
So,
corner.
anyways, he shoots Hans. He's hanging out of the building window, but he's got Holly's arm, and she's wearing the Rolex that she got, and he's hanging on to her Rolex. And then Hans is about to shoot them, which I don't know how good of a plan that is, because you're hanging on to her. If you shoot either one, that's going to be...
I think at that point he was just like, I hate these motherfuckers.
I guess.
I'm going to kill them.
But yeah, John removes Holly's Rolex, and Hans falls to his death in another iconic shot.
Yeah.
That's probably the most iconic shot.
And Reginald, not Reginald, the police chief, the assistant police chief, his best line of the movie was like, oh, I hope that's not a hostage.
Do you know how they filmed that scene, though, of Alan Rickman falling?
I would imagine a stunt double did that.
A stunt double. It's his face.
No, well, tell me.
So they had Alan Rickman fall 40 feet onto a giant airbag with a blue screen. And then obviously they put the city in later. So it was a blue screen.
Okay.
They told Alan Rickman that they would drop him on 3, but they dropped him on 1 to get a genuine reaction. That's why the reaction's like so
Oh, shit.
good. He's like so shocked that he's falling. Because they're like, all right, we're going to drop you on 3. All right, ready? 1. And he falls. And yeah. But he fell 40 feet
That's crazy.
onto a giant airbag. So, obviously he was fine, but that's still 40 feet.
40 feet on anything is still not going to feel great.
Well, it's I'm sure it's those like giant airbags they use for anyone who's, trying to kill themselves.
Yeah. Oh, they had a scene in that in Lethal Weapon.
Right.
Kudos. That's a good bump.
But yeah,
Alan
I thought
Rickman.
that was really cool. This is
a
all
good
Alan
bump.
Rickman's first movie.
This was?
He only did like TV shows up until this
Wow.
point.
This was
And he
good.
almost turned it down because he didn't want to be like, he's like, oh, of course, I'm the foreigner. I'm the bad guy. But he did an excellent job.
Unfortunately, he would learn that would be his role.
Well, yeah, that's what happens. But I mean, not forever though.
Wasn't he the bad guy in Harry Potter? No?
No.
I thought the Professor Snake was a bad one.
Did he turn bad in future movies?
I don't know.
I only saw the first one.
I only saw the first one.
Because someone CGI'd guns on, replaced the wands with guns. I talked about this before. Just type Harry Potter with guns.
I remember.
It's the best.
Yes.
It's the only reason I watched it. It's fucking amazing. No, and then he was in Dogma where he played the voice of God.
That's right.
That's where
Yes.
I love. That's
right.
I love him in that movie.
He was great. Yeah.
So yeah, not always, but yeah, no. Generally, he's he became the bad guy, and that's what happens in Hollywood. You get typecast.
Fucking Grubers.
But yeah, everything seems to be over. But then Fabio comes back from the dead, like a horror movie.
How the fuck? Because John left him there hanging like he was a fish on a hook.
This was
I don't know how that happened.
this was not really needed.
Well, it was needed.
Hans Gruber is the big death. That should be the last death of the movie.
Sure, but they wanted to show you that you know
Redemption for the child murderer.
what? Redemption for good old Al Pal.
Redemption for the child killer.
Because he was gonna have
13 years old.
Yeah, well, he wanted to show you that he's going to be a good, strong cop going forward. Someone that John and
This character killed more kids.
I don't know that. Well, he probably stopped after that. Maybe he got out of the force. I don't know.
Yeah, Carl Winslow takes care of Fabio. And then the news reporter asks John for a comment, but Holly punches him in the face. He's like, did you get that? I think that's the last line of the movie. And then let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Merry Christmas, everybody.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
A great movie. One of my favorite 80s movies.
It's
Love
really
it.
good.
Love it.
10 out of 10?
For 80s movies, yeah.
Well, no, just,
I think it's probably about a 9, probably.
Yeah, all
I think
right.
it's a 9.
That's fair. All right, let's pull up some fan questions. Let's see what they had to say.
Die Hard 3, 10 out of 10.
Oh, you like Die Hard 3 better?
Oh, yeah. Die Hard 3 is the best.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I really want to watch it again now that we watch this.
I think we should do the trilogy.
All right, fan questions. Josh, if you're as limber as you say you are with squatting, stand on 1 foot for 10 seconds.
Do I do that now?
No. You don't.
I can do that easily.
While squatting?
Oh, while squatting? No, I can't do that.
You can't.
Maybe. I might have to try that.
You want to try it
I'll try it.
right now?
Right? Okay, sure.
They won't be able to see, but I will.
Yeah. I mean,
This
you'll
is
know if
gonna
I'm
be-
squatting.
Please don't hit the table. If you're gonna fall that way. Don't knock over all the pops. Oh, this is kind of strange. 1, 2, 3, 4. You weren't even really squatting. You were like kind of, certainly not in the position you were.
I don't have the leg strength.
Jeez,
I'm building.
He's
I'm
all,
building.
He's all red now. Tyrone Grizz, you're gonna kill Josh, Tim. Stop this. Tyrone Grizz, when the bad guys don't know you're sneaking around a giant building, don't kill one and send him down an elevator, and especially don't tell them you're armed. Bold move, Cotton. See if it pays off for him.
That's great. You know what I also loved about this movie was the intimate knowledge that John had of the inside of mega structures. He knew where everything was, and just, each door led to another place where he could hide.
Yeah.
It was great. He knew about how elevators worked and everything.
He's a cop. Come on.
I don't think the normal person knows that you
He's
can
a cop.
hide on top of an elevator.
He's a super cop.
He is a super cop.
Dylan, Andrew, did you give Josh some money for a hooker for Christmas? Or at least a few restaurant gift cards so Josh can take an lucky woman on a date? No, but I have to get him a gift now because he got me one.
Don't
so
have to get me a gift.
he's doing that bullshit.
Don't have to get me a gift.
Yeah, he says that, but really he's seething inside.
I'm not.
I can tell. You're all red. Oh, that's from the squatting.
That's from the squatting.
Michael Ha. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Love all that you guys do. Josh, spell Hanukkah. That's not happening.
Hanukkah. I mean, that's
No, it's not. Look.
H-U.
Nope. You got no.
No. Han?
Second letter.
H-U-N-I.
Think Hans Gruber.
E. Ooh, Hanukkah. Hanukkah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Andy
No.
Piccone, if you could
Could
kick.
you do Hanukkah?
Probably not.
Okay, good. Okay,
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
that's a tough one.
I
That's a toughie.
might be like one letter off. Although now I know it because he spelled it.
Damn it.
Andy Piccone, if you could kick one terrorist in the dick, who would it be?
Oh, like a movie terrorist or like actual terrorist? Because it'd be
know.
Osama bin Laden, right? You'd
Yeah, I
kick
mean, he's
him in
dead
the
though
nuts.
now, but yeah,
I don't know any current day terrorists. Kim Jong Un? Is it ill?
sure. No, it's Un.
Un?
Ill is the dad.
Ill? Okay.
Omar, I consider all the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies as Christmas movies. What?
Because they're all elves.
Fun fact, every film in the entire franchise has been released in December. Oh, that's why.
Oh, Lord.
P.S. Josh, why do you not celebrate anything? Why are you so firm on not using a condom? What's wrong with you? We've already been down this
There's a
road
lot wrong with it.
many times. All these questions have
Check
been
out the
answered.
other podcasts.
We're never going to be satisfied with any of these answers from Josh.
Probably not.
The Rizzler can't think of any movie with a better and more iconic one-liner than Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Close second would be Arnold's I'll Be Back, but good luck coming up with something that can compete with John McClane's banger of a line.
After, because I've seen it all the time, I wish that McClane had said it more forcefully, but he kind of says it as he's backing out of a room, and it's like, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. But I wish it was more like, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Well, they do that in the future films.
Sure.
When did he say it in Vengeance?
I don't remember.
Well, I mean, he definitely does. I remember in Die Hard 4, it was awkward.
It was awkward.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! And he shoots himself. Chris Dibburn, Pushfire Barry, non-McClane quotes. Hans, booby, I'm your white knight. Oh my God, the quarterback is toast. No. If this is their idea of Christmas, I got to be here for New Year's.
I think you bury that one. You
Fire the quarterback is toast.
fire the quarterback is toast and you push, booby, I'm your white knight.
Yeah,
I might use that more in my everyday vocabulary.
right. Mills, what are your 3 best and worst movies of 2022? So we're going to do that next week. We're going to get everyone's opinion on that.
Spoiler alert.
He's got Top Gun as his best movie. He's got Thor as his worst.
I think Morbius might be in there.
Yeah, Morbius is 3 worst for him. So, wait, Thor was worse than Morbius? Come on now.
That's trolling. That's trolling.
That's some Josh level trolling. PCJ, yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Only in the 80s could you smoke anywhere, bring guns on planes, snort lines of cocaine just as your boss walks in the office and not get in trouble. Any plans for the new year? Will we be getting any hogwash style shows on Patreon like brackets, watch alongs, blah, 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 blah? I've been thinking about doing a TV theme show bracket, like best TV theme show / intro, because you'd have to take the visual into account. Like doing that as a bracket, just as like a regular episode.
Oof. So that means Peacemaker would win, huh?
Probably, yeah.
Damn.
Peacemaker wins. Well, yeah,
Bracket over.
it's gonna be on there for sure. No, but there's a lot of great
That's
themes.
a lot of good ones.
Yeah, theme songs.
That would be a
and
fun one.
intros. Yeah, I think we should do that instead of like doing a movie one week.
Okay.
We just do a bracket.
Sure.
I think that'll be fun.
I think that would be fun.
Carlos Ramirez, what's the better Christmas movie? Batman Returns or Iron Man 3? That's easy for me. It's Batman Returns. I did not like Iron Man 3.
Whoa. That's where I'm differing. I did not like Batman Returns. I liked Iron Man 3.
When did you see Batman Returns?
It's been a while, but I don't remember any of it.
You liked Iron Man 3?
I like all the Iron Mans, yeah. Iron Man 2, I liked a lot too.
No.
Give me my burden.
Iron Man 3 was Tony Stark gets home for Christmas. That's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
No, not really.
He had the little cute kid that he was mentoring for so long.
Fuck that kid.
Yeah, it was so great.
The kid's crying at the end of Endgame. You knew him for a day.
It's his father figure.
No, that was terrible. By the way,
it.
I was in the theaters watching that movie, and I was like, "Oh, Ben Kingsley is not the bad guy."
Yeah, it took me a
That
minute.
hurt it from that just figuring that out right away.
Oh, they're not gonna have a real Mandalorian.
Because I was like, hold
not
on.
Mandalorian.
Like,
You know what I'm talking about.
who's editing his videos? That's how I figured it out. Because I was like, wait, these terrorist videos, the production is way too high.
It's really good.
I was like, clearly this whole thing is fake, and that ended up being the case. That's what tipped me
You'll
off.
Never see me coming. Oh, dude, I think I do a good Ben Kingsley. Wow. Okay.
All right, look, it was all right. Don't go crazy here. It was okay. Bobby the Mark Soydam. It's probably your second best impression.
I think it is.
And it was just okay at best. Bobby the Mark Soydam, my favorite movie of 2022 was The Batman. You Ain't Alone, Josh. Is that official?
I don't know. If
No,
it was
it's
my-
Everything Everywhere. Look, we'll discuss it next
We're
week,
going to
okay?
discuss it less next week, but I will say I have watched The Batman 3 times this year.
You idiot.
It's really good.
Yeah, I'm sure you love it.
I did love
It's about a lonely guy who can't get laid. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast. I'm just kidding. Make sure.
Hey, it's coming.
that felt-
Someone's coming in 2023.
Josh Reese is coming in 2023. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast wherever you are viewing us. We also have exclusive videos on our YouTube channel, Hollywood Hog
I don't know what's going to be exclusive
at
this
Hollywood
week.
Hog Pod. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Hollywood Hog Pod. Next week, we're going to review Babylon. That looks really good.
Okay.
It's with Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie. Tobey Maguire looks like he's playing the Joker in this movie. It's about Hollywood in the 1920s.
Oh, Lord.
It looks good. I think we should watch it and review it. And we'll see you next year where Josh is coming. So next year's your year, right?
I'm coming.
You promise?
I'm coming everywhere. That's right. All at once.
Oh, God.